You spoke about Tony Serra, and I know that's one of one of the most respected attorneys, lawyers ever. What was that experience like working with him, and how did that come about?
Oh yeah, so it came about. I was a student at Stanford Law School.
Okay.
And Tony Serra came to speak about his career, and when I was a student at Stanford, they had all these famous people: Supreme Court Justice, famous corporate lawyer. You know, all these famous people went to speak at Stanford,
okay.
But they weren't really like interesting to me. They were like just kind of seemed like, you know, blah blah blah, and then they would bring some
characters, everything. So you weren't really feeling the energy or the character.
Yeah, but Tony came in and he was full of fire and full of energy, and he was like an older guy, and he was very inspiring. Mm-hmm. And so my friends and I, we had bought a new bong, and so we asked Tony, and it was like 7:30. We said. Because all these people were asking him, Tony, Mr. Serra, can we work for you over the summer? And Tony's like, I don't really take law student interns, and so we weren't really interested in that. We just want to get high with the guy. So we asked him like, hey, do you ever smoke cannabis after 7 p.m.? And he said, what time is it? 7:30. He's like, yes, I do. Time to go. And so he just wrapped up the question and answer, and then we went over to the law school dorm where we had this brand new pipe. And we went and we smoked cannabis. And Tony's like, your weed sucks. You guys gotta get better weed. And so after that, I didn't have a connection. I moved from Yale, and so we're like, Tony, don't you know anybody? He's like, no, but maybe you can talk to somebody in the lobby. And there was like all his clients in the lobby. We met some dude, and next thing you know, Tony was our fast friend.
Gotcha.
And so Tony was very inspiring because. He was part of the San Francisco counterculture. He knew all the cool hippie people, and he was also like very down to earth and not in it for the money. He was in it for the fight. And
that's
so
what it's about.
He appreciated lawyers who were into it to win, not just to make money.
Also have the passion and trying to
who just wanted to
make a difference.
Yeah, who wanted to win these difficult cases and represent. Like for me, the cannabis defendants were not getting a fair shake. Because most lawyers specialize in murderers or rapists, and the lawyers who did marijuana were kind of like the crappy lawyers,
right,
and the good lawyers did murders. And so I decided, like, hey, the cannabis growers need good lawyers too, and I'm going to focus on cannabis law. And so when I did that, I started noticing patterns that the police would come up with the same bullshit excuse, or the prosecutors would come up with the same dumb argument, or that the judge would come up with the same, kind of excuse, or they would be hemming and hawing. Yeah. And so over time, I was able to take techniques that I learned in one courthouse. Like I appeared over 30 different counties, and so I would take techniques that I learned in one courthouse to another courthouse, and they'd never seen that move before, and it worked. It's like jujitsu, like when you're doing a move that your opponent doesn't expect, a lot of times it works. Yeah. And so I would be doing moves that I would learn in other counties in the new county, and then I would have kind of like this, repertoire of customized marijuana-related motions that I had developed by myself over the years. And I started as a baby. I started doing infractions, worked my way up to misdemeanors, then started doing felonies, and then eventually I was able to just choose my cases and only work for people I wanted to work with. And so. Doing all that, I was able to take my show on the road and be a lawyer in different counties, and develop expertise in cannabis law. And so it was very fun. I did that for a long time, but eventually I realized like this cannabis prohibition game where people have their collective and cooperative defense as a defense to felony charges, it's getting old, it's just like same old. And I saw a lot of my clients were kind of like trapped in that same vibe. Well, around that time, the California legislature said, we're going to put an expiration on collectives and cooperatives. We're going to put in the regulated system. And then once that happened in 2015, in 2016, the initiative was put on by this guy, Sean Parker, like some internet millionaire, who didn't know what he was doing. And he just paid some lobbying firm a lot of money to write a 64-page initiative that became known as Proposition 64.
Oh, that's...
so Proposition 64...
When you said about the pages, that's what I was thinking. It
never legalized marijuana. What it does is like it decriminalized a lot of the activity so that it was reduced from a felony to a misdemeanor, but it didn't wipe out the marijuana crimes, which would, legal marijuana would be like coffee or like chamomile.